What is reality? Have you ever thought about that? Right now, you think you're watching a video. But what if I told you that everything you're experiencing right now, the screen in front of you, your hands, even the thoughts in your head, might not be what you think they are? Scientists just discovered something terrifying about reality. Physicists are losing their minds. Philosophers have been warning us for centuries. And your own brain? It's been lying to you since birth. In the next minutes, I'm going to show you 5 experiments that will prove everything you know is wrong. The 5th one is going to haunt you forever. Here's what really keeps me up at night. What if you're not even real? What if consciousness is the only thing that exists and matter is the illusion? Stick with me till the end, because I've got a mind-bending exercise that will change your perception of reality right now, today, the moment you try it. And trust me, you can't unsee this once you know. Let's go. What's up, reality questioners? If this is your first time here, welcome to the channel, where we're not afraid to ask the questions that make your brain hurt. Today we're diving into the most fundamental question in existence: what is reality? Before you click away thinking this is some philosophical mumbo-jumbo, let me tell you something. This isn't philosophy. This is science. Hard science. Nobel Prize-winning science. And it's absolutely insane. Here's the thing nobody tells you. The chair you're sitting on, 99.9% empty space, is a solid matter you touch every day. Just atoms vibrating, and those atoms, they don't even have definite positions until you look at them. I'm not making this up. By the end of this video, you will understand why quantum physicists can't sleep at night. Know why your brain is constantly hallucinating your reality. Learn what ancient mystics knew 3,000 years ago that science is only now confirming. Get a practical technique to experience this yourself. Right now, we're going on a trip through classical physics, why we got it wrong for 300 years. Quantum physics, where reality breaks down completely. Philosophy thinkers who saw through the illusion. Neuroscience, your brain is a reality-generating machine. Consciousness, the final piece that changes everything. Drop a comment right now. Are you team reality is solid or team we reliving in a simulation? See where everyone stands before I blow your mind. And hit that like button if you're ready to question everything. Let's get into it. Block 1. Classical physics, the beautiful lie, the Newtonian dream. For 300 years, we had it all figured out. Isaac Newton in the 1600s basically said, the universe is a giant machine. It's predictable. It's solid. It follows mathematical rules. Done. And you know what? It worked. We built skyscrapers, launched rockets to the moon, created GPS satellites. Newton's physics is still how we build bridges today, the reality we believed in Newton's world. Objects exist in specific places. They have definite properties. Reality exists out there whether you observe it or not. Cause and effect. Simple, clean, predictable. Grab something near you right now. Go ahead, I'll wait. A pen, your phone, whatever. Feel how solid it is. It says weight. It occupies space. If you drop it, it falls. This is what reality feels like, right? Wrong. Completely wrong. And here's how we know. Around 1900, scientists started looking really closely at matter, like microscope looked closely. And they found something that shattered everything Newton built. Atoms aren't solid little balls, they're mostly empty space. If an atom was the size of a football stadium, the nucleus would be a marble in the center, and the electrons? Tiny specks flying around the outer seats. Everything else? Empty. So when you touch that solid object, you're not really touching anything. It's just electromagnetic forces pushing against each other. Your hand atoms repelling the object atoms. So, you've never touched anything in your entire life. You've only felt electromagnetic repulsion between atoms. But wait, it gets so much weirder. Because when scientists looked even closer at those atoms, reality started doing impossible things. Things that still freak out physicists today. Welcome to quantum mechanics, where the rules don't just bend, they completely break. Block 2. Quantum physics, where reality goes insane. Buckle up, because I'm about to tell you about an experiment that won a Nobel Prize and basically broke physics forever. It's called the double slit experiment. And honestly, it should be illegal how mind-bending it is. The setup is super simple. You fire tiny particles, like electrons, at a wall with 2 vertical slits in it. Behind the wall, there's a detector screen. Now, if electrons are like tiny little bullets, they should go through one slit or the other, right? And on the detector screen, you'd expect to see two distinct bands where they hit. It's just basic logic. But that's not what happens. Instead, what you get is an interference pattern. You know, like when you drop two pebbles in a pond, and the waves ripple out and interfere with each other, creating peaks and troughs. That's what the electrons do. This means each individual electron is somehow going through both slits at the same time. It's like a wave, and interfering with itself. Okay, so maybe electrons are just waves, not particles. Mystery solved, right? Not so fast. This is where it gets weird. Scientists, being the curious people they are, decided to put a detector right at the slits to see which one the electron actually goes through. And the moment they do that, is the moment they try to observe it. The interference pattern vanishes. The electron suddenly decides to behave like a good little particle again. It goes through only one slit, and you get the two simple bands you originally expected. Let that sink in. The very act of observing it changed the outcome. The universe literally behaves differently when we're watching. Pause the video right now and go to the comments. Tell me if this breaks your brain, or if you think I'm making this up. Because I promise you this is real. Nobel Prize winning science. Look up the double slit experiment after this video. This leads to a concept called superposition. Before you observe it, the particle doesn't have a definite position. It exists in all of its possible states simultaneously. It's a cloud of probability. You've probably heard of Schrödinger's cat, right? It's a famous thought experiment. A cat is in a box with a vial of poison that has a 50/50th chance of breaking. Till you open the box and look, the cat is considered to be both alive and dead at the same time. We don't know which one it is. No, according to the math, it is literally in both states. Here's a relatable way to think about it. Imagine you've left your house and you can't remember if you locked the front door. In your mind, that door exists in a superposition of being both locked and unlocked until you go back and check. Now, imagine that it's not just a state of your mind. Imagine that it's the actual physical reality of the door. The door is both locked and unlocked until your observation forces it, or collapses the wave function, into a single state. That's the reality of quantum mechanics. And if you think that's strange, it gets even crazier. Two particles can become linked or entangled. What this means is that if you measure a property of one particle, its entangled partner instantly reflects that change, no matter how far apart they are. Instantly, even if they're on opposite sides of the universe. This broke Einstein's brain. He called it spooky action at a distance, because it seemed to violate his own theory that nothing can travel faster than the speed of light. He was convinced it was wrong. But experiment after experiment has proven it's real. In fact, work on this very phenomenon won the Nobel Prize in Physics in 2022. Einstein was wrong. Entanglement is real. So what does all of this actually mean for our understanding of reality? It means that things don't have definite properties until they are observed. It means particles can be in multiple places at once. It suggests that the separation we perceive between objects might just be an illusion. And most profoundly, it means the observer, you, me, we fundamentally affect the reality we are part of. Now, you might be thinking, okay, this is weird, but this is just about tiny subatomic particles, right? It doesn't affect my everyday life. But here's the uncomfortable truth. Everything is made of these particles. Your body, the chair you're sitting on, the screen you're watching this on, the air you're breathing. At the most fundamental level, it's all a swirling, chaotic dance of quantum probabilities. You are a walking, talking collection of probability waves that has, for some reason, collapsed into the solid-seeming person you are right now. If you're still watching this, congratulations. You're in the top 15% of viewers who can handle this level of mind-bending content. If your brain is exploding right now, comment quantum down below. But what's really fascinating is that physicists weren't the first people to question the nature of reality. Philosophers and ancient mystics were having these exact same thoughts thousands of years ago. They just didn't have the mathematics to prove it. Block 3. Philosophy. The ancient wisdom. Plato's cave 400 BC. Imagine you're chained in a cave since birth, facing a wall. Behind you, there's a fire, and people carrying objects walk between you and the fire. All you see are shadows on the wall. These shadows are your entire reality. You've never seen the actual objects. You don't even know there are objects. One day you break free, see the real objects casting the shadows. Then you go outside and see the sun, the source of all light, which is the real reality. The shadows you lived with your whole life, or the sun you just discovered? Plato said our physical world is like those shadows. It's distorted reflections of a higher, more real world of perfect forms or ideas. And if you went back to tell the other prisoners, they'd think you're crazy. They might even face you for suggesting their reality isn't real. Sound familiar? That's what's happening right now as I tell you this. Descartes, the ultimate doubter. René Descartes, in the 1600s, took doubt to the extreme. Can I doubt my senses? Yes, they deceive me sometimes. Can I doubt the physical world? Yes, I might be dreaming. Can I doubt mathematics? Maybe an evil demon is making me think 2 + 2 = 4. But can I doubt that I'm doubting? No, because to doubt, I must exist. I think, therefore I am. The only thing you can be absolutely certain of is that your consciousness exists. Everything else, your body, other people, the entire physical world, could theoretically be an illusion. Immanuel Kant made a devastating distinction. The thing in itself reality as it actually is. The thing for us reality as we perceive it. Kant argued we can never know the thing in itself. Our perception is filtered through the lens of our mind, space, time, causality. These are structures of perception, not necessarily of reality itself. It's like wearing VR goggles you can never take off. You see a 3D world, but it's all rendered by the headset. It's a real world outside the VR. You can deduce it exists, but you can never experience it directly. Your mind is the VR headset. Space and time might be the rendering software, not actual features of reality. Eastern philosophy, the ancient scientists, while the West was just figuring this out, Eastern philosophy had been saying it for 3,000+ years. Hinduism. Maya, the world is an illusion. The only reality is Brahman, pure consciousness. Buddhism. Enlightenment. O permanent self. You're not a fixed thing, you're a process. Every moment you're different atoms, different thoughts. Where's the you that's supposedly solid and real? Comment which philosopher blew your mind the most, or tell me if you think they're all just overthinking it. Let's debate in the comments, okay? But these are just philosophers talking in circles. What does actual brain science say? Oh, buddy, neuroscience might be the most disturbing part of all. Block 4. Neuroscience. Your brain is hallucinating. Here's a fact that should terrify you. Your brain has never been in direct contact with the outside world. Think about it. Your brain sits in a dark, silent skull. It has no windows, or direct access to out there. All it gets is electrical signals. Light hits your retina. Electrical pulses, sound vibrations in your ear, touch, taste, smell, all converted to electrical signals. Your brain receives these signals and constructs the experience you call reality. You're seeing your brain's simulation of the world based on limited sensory data. Colors are not out there in the world. There are electromagnetic waves of different frequencies. Your brain interprets certain frequencies as red, others as blue. The subjective experience of red that only exists in your consciousness. If you were a bee, you'd see ultraviolet. If you were a dog, you'd be partially colorblind. Which version is real? It's none of them. They're all interpretations. Neuroscientist Anil Seth says, we're all hallucinating all the time. When we agree about our hallucinations, we call it reality. Your brain has a model of the world. Sensory data updates that model, but most of your experience is the brain making predictions based on past experiences. Here's some proofs that your brain is inventing reality. 1. The blind spot. You have a blind spot in each eye where the optic nerve connects, but you don't see a hole in your vision. Why? Your brain invents the missing information. Right now, pause the video. Google blind spot test and try it. Your brain is literally filling in information that isn't there. 2. Optical illusions. Those images where you see two different things, they prove your brain is interpreting ambiguous data, not showing you objective reality. 3. Phantom limb. People who lose an arm still feel the arm. The sensation is real to them. Pain in a limb that doesn't exist. Where is that reality? Scientists made people wear glasses that flipped their vision upside down. For days, they stumbled around seeing everything inverted. But after a week, their brains adapted. They started seeing normally again, even with the upside-down glasses still on. When they took the glasses off, the world looked upside down again until the brain readjusted. This proves perception is plastic, constructed. Not a direct reflection of reality. Time is constructed too. Time moves faster when you're having fun, slower during intense moments. Your brain creates the experience of time. Ask someone who nearly passed away in a car crash. They'll say it happened in slow motion. Your brain literally changed their time perception. Try this right now. Close your eyes. Try to focus on a thought. Notice how other thoughts pop up. Notice sounds around you suddenly become loud, even though they were there all along. Your brain was filtering them out. You're not experiencing reality, you're experiencing what your brain decides to show you. Comment "I'm being filtered" if you just did this and realized your brain controls what you experience. So your brain constructs reality. But who is experiencing that constructed reality? What is consciousness? That's where things get really weird. Block 5. Consciousness. The final mystery. David Chalmers calls it the hard problem of consciousness. How and why does physical matter create subjective experience? Scientists can map which neurons fire when you see red. That's the easy problem. Correlation between brain activity and experience. But why is there something it's like to see red? Why aren't we just robots processing information in the dark with no inner experience? Why is there a you experiencing all of this? Science has no idea. The competing theories? Materialism. Consciousness emerges from complex brain activity. You just don't understand it yet. Dualism. Mind and matter are separate. Consciousness is non-physical. Panpsychism. Consciousness is fundamental like gravity. Even particles have a tiny bit of proto-consciousness. Idealism. Consciousness is all that exists. Matter appears within consciousness, not the other way around. The idealist argument: here's what keeps me up at night. Everything you've ever experienced has happened in your consciousness. You've never accessed a material world outside consciousness. Even your body, you only know it through sensations in consciousness. So why assume matter is fundamental and creates consciousness? It's fundamental and creates the experience of matter. Max Planck, founder of quantum theory, said, "I regard consciousness as fundamental. I regard matter as derivative from consciousness." Meditation and direct investigation. Eastern traditions don't study consciousness by theorizing. They investigate it directly through meditation. Advanced meditators report experiences where the sense of self dissolves. There's no me in here watching world out there, just experience happening. Awareness without an individual awareness. They describe non-dual consciousness where the subject-object split collapses. Practical exercise for you. Try this after the video. Close your eyes. Watch your thoughts. Who's watching? You say me, but can you observe that me? And who's observing the observer? If you go deep enough, the solid sense of self starts to feel slippery, undefined. Psychedelics and modern research. Johns Hopkins and Imperial College are doing groundbreaking studies with psychedelics. Results show ego dissolution and mystical experiences have lasting therapeutic benefits. Users commonly report, "I realized everything is consciousness. There's no real separation between me and the universe." The interconnection. Look how everything we've covered connects. Quantum physics, observer affects reality, philosophy. Reality might be unknowable in itself. Neuroscience, brain constructs, experience, consciousness might be fundamental, not emergent, all pointing to reality is more participatory, less objective than we thought. If you're still here, you're in the top 5% of viewers. Drop consciousness in the comments and see how many of us made it this far. Okay, my brain is officially broken. But what's the answer? What is reality? Block 6. The synthesis putting it all together. So what is reality? Here's the honest answer. Nobody knows for certain. But after everything we've explored, here's my take. Reality works in layers. Level 1. Fundamental reality, unknowable. The thing in itself. Could be pure consciousness, information, mathematics, or something we don't even have concepts for. Level 2. Quantum reality. Probabilistic, non-local, indeterminate. Foundation of the physical world, but with bizarre rules. Level 3. Classical reality, the Newtonian world that emerges from quantum at larger scales. Useful, predictable, but not fundamental. Level 4. Perceptual reality, what your brain constructs. Your subjective experience. as real as anything for you. Level 5. Consensus reality. What we collectively agree on. Money, countries, laws. Real because we make them real. Reality is participatory. Here's what seems clear. You're not a passive observer of an objective reality out there. You're a co-creator in an ongoing process we call reality. Your senses gather data, your brain interprets it, your consciousness experiences it, and somehow this all interacts with something out there or in here, depending on perspective. If reality is more fluid than we thought, your beliefs and expectations literally shape your experience. The hard separation between you and world is questionable. There's more mystery and possibility than strict materialism suggests. But not anything goes. There are patterns and consistencies we must respect. Think of a wave in the ocean. The wave seems separate, has a beginning, middle, end. But it's just movement of the ocean, not truly separate. Maybe you're like that wave. You seem separate, individual. But you're a temporary manifestation of something larger, universe, consciousness, fundamental reality. This doesn't diminish you. The wave is as real as the ocean. It's just perspective. Which theory resonates with you most? Comment materialism if you think it's all physical. Comment idealism. If you think consciousness is fundamental, comment no idea if your brain is officially broken. Let's see what this community thinks. Conclusion. The transformation. Before we end, I'm going to give you something powerful. For the next 3 days, stop multiple times a day and ask, how do I know this is real? Look at your hand. How do you know it's real? Don't accept automatic answers. Really investigate. This won't make you crazy. It'll make you more awake, more present. You'll stop living on autopilot in obvious reality. If this video transformed how you see reality, smash that like button to tell YouTube this content matters. Subscribe and hit the bell, because we're going deeper into consciousness, quantum physics, and the nature of existence. Comment which part broke your brain the most. Was it the double slit experiment? The brain construction? Consciousness? Share this with someone who needs their reality shattered. Reality is the greatest mystery that exists. And maybe the fact that it is a mystery is what makes existence magical. If everything were explained and obvious, where would the adventure be? Here's what I know for certain. The moment you stop questioning, you stop growing. So keep questioning, keep exploring. And remember, just because something is mysterious doesn't mean we stop investigating. It means the journey is just beginning. You're not the same person who started this video minutes ago. Your reality has shifted. You can't unsee this. Welcome to the other side. Till our next video, stay curious, stay skeptical, and stay conscious.